Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to the TFC YouTube channel. Today, me and Jack to my other side here will be going over our England 2020 or Euro 2020 squad. Just before we get into it, if you do go on to enjoy the video, please do leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and pushes out this video to a wider audience. And who wouldn't want to watch a random man with cloud goggles and a hat and Jack in an Albania shirt? Well, we want to see that for their entire life, you know, play it on repeat. So, yeah, please do leave a like, subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into today's TFC video. Okay, so the way that we're going to be doing this, we're going to go in a format. So we're going to go goalkeeper, right back, centre back, left back, CDM, midfield, cam, and then obviously forwards. So, since, you know, Jack, you seem like an absolutely, you know, you seem like a great man to speak about England when you've got an Albania shirt on. Let's start off with the goalkeepers. Who have you got, the three goalkeepers in goal for you?
But this is a really debatable one, because obviously Southgate's probably going to go with Pickford, but I've actually not picked Jordan Pickford. He's not even coming on the plane.
Gareth Southgate is punching his TV screen, his mobile phone. Yeah, it's out of the window. But yeah, so I think with Jordan Pickford, the debate is whether you'd play him. I'm not sure. I think a lot of people will go 100% they'd play him. A lot of people would start him as their main keeper. Obviously, had a good performance in the World Cup. Obviously saved that penalty in the against, who was it? Who was the penalty shootout against?
Colombia, right?
Yes, there you go. Yeah. It was Colombia.
Yeah, Colombia.
Yeah. I was thinking James Rodriguez. But yeah, Colombia. It was a good performance from him, but England have got some good keepers. I mean, you've got the likes of Dean Henderson, who are actually, you know, really good keepers. And I think if you were to compare someone like Jordan Pickford to Dean Henderson, it certainly wouldn't be a breeze for Jordan Pickford. Let's just say that. And also, obviously, a large proportion of the England population don't like him, or certainly those from Liverpool. Not mentioning, you know, I'm not mentioning why. It's just, you know, they just don't seem to like him for a strange reason. So yeah, so you've gone no Jordan Pickford, but you've not actually said any keepers that you're taking yet. So what keepers are you taking, Jack? Are you going Glenn Murray in goal?
Yeah, Glenn Murray. No, I'm taking Nick Pope, Dean Henderson, and Sam Johnstone. I
was just double checking that's not the selection I've gone with necessarily, but yeah, I think that's a solid choice. So you've gone with Dean Henderson, Nick Pope, and then Sam Johnstone. Obviously, I mean, is that the exact selection?
I think that's a three he took for
he's taken for the World Cup qualifiers. So yeah, I think that's fair enough. Obviously Southgate, as you said, I think 100% Southgate will take Pickford. He'll probably start him as well. But, you know, each to their own, and I know a lot of people don't like Gareth Southgate and his opinions when it comes to the English squad. But I mean, I'll go over my goalkeeper choice. Dean Henderson, I've gone with Dean Henderson as well. Nick Pope, I've gone with Nick Pope as well. I think they've solidified their place in that squad. Certainly Dean Henderson, I think, has, with his season that he had at Sheffield United and now coming over to Man United. I mean, that's a whole debate in itself. Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a debate in itself. You know, whether it's De Gea or whether you would play Dean Henderson. Both quality keepers. There's a slight age gap though, just a tinsy bit. But yeah, and my final goalkeeper. I'm sure all the YouTube, all the people that know a lot about YouTube will love this one. Jack, is there any guesses? Who would play? Hang on, is he even English? Who would play in goal? I'm not sure whether he's even English now, I come to think of it. But he's not, is he? I think he's like 70% Indian. Who is it, Jack?
I don't know.
Well, all the football specialists will be very confused. But in goal, I've gone for Vic Star 123. Absolute prodigy in goal.
Great.
He's a great young talent, and I'm sure, you know, Kylian Mbappe wouldn't score a single goal past him. So I trust Vic Star, you know. He's also great at pens. So big up my man Vic Star. I know he's watching. Big fan of the TFC. Let's move on to fullback, specifically right back. There's a lot of good options.
Before that, before we discuss who we're starting out of those goalies.
Oh, yeah. We'll say who we're starting.
There.
Yes, there is definitely debate there. I think, obviously for me, Vic Star 123. But Jack, you'll have slightly different opinions, I reckon, because you didn't choose Vic Star, which I think is quite outrageous, really. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, he's not even a goalie, but yeah, it's between Pope and Henderson. I don't know. I can't remember who he played against, who Southgate played against Albania, but I'd probably start Nick Pope over Henderson
I mean, he is
just
a
because he's
broken
played
FIFA
more.
keeper, as everyone knows. I mean, he's great on FIFA, must be great in real life. I mean, it sounds a bit like the Southgate logic, really, doesn't it? Got a high-rated FIFA card, must play him. But yeah, so I think that's a fair analysis. I think both of them are very similar levels when it comes to quality as a goalkeeper. Obviously, they've got slightly different qualities, but
Yeah,
I think overall you could start either, and I don't think either would disappoint immensely at all. So,
both better than Pickford.
yeah, I think I would agree, and I think they're both a lot more liked by England than Pickford. There are
Yeah,
obviously a popular. I keep saying how people don't like Pickford. You might be watching at home and thinking, "I love Pickford, great goalkeeper." But the
going
vibe
out
that
below
I get
them.
off them, the vibe that
I
I get
love
off a lot of
Pickford.
football fans is that they're not the biggest fans of Pickford, considering they do call him T-Rex. But okay,
He
moving
does have
on
very
to
short arms.
right back. Yeah, as I said, there's a lot of good options for right back. You've obviously got, the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, which is doing a great job and has done a great job at Liverpool for a couple of years now. So, who have you chosen to go right back for England? What is there? There's got to be two right backs
Oh,
out of
you go
them.
first.
Okay, I'll
Oh no,
go
you're always
first.
first. Go on.
So, I think, obviously, as I said, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't think you could not take Alexander-Arnold, in my
There's
opinion.
a debate there though. He hasn't been excellent this season, but he is still a really good player. I mean, he
Yeah,
didn't
I
play.
think
He's
it's a
not even in the
great,
squad at the
I think it's a
moment.
great player. But then I kind of got stuck when I was thinking about this. I got stuck between. I think there's three different people that you could debate between. I know who you'd go with out of the three, Jack. But I said Walker is an option. Also, because of Walker's flexibility, you could play him centre back.
That is that is better for him that he can play anywhere, but
But
that's his
speaking of
chances.
flexibility, you've got James, not Jones. Reece James.
Reece Jones,
Right, we're not going to be playing
quality
Reece
right back.
Jones.
Reece Jones.
Um, Reece James, sorry, yeah. So Reece James, obviously, he's got flexibility where he can play. And I would probably I'd probably say he has a little bit more flexibility than
Yeah,
Kyle Walker.
I mean
And
Walker
then
isn't very good at a
obviously,
right back as it is, but
Gareth Southgate, he chose Kieran Trippier, so I think he's got to be in the running just because Gareth Southgate put him in the squad. But whether you take him or not is a whole different debate. I think he's good
yeah,
at he's good at free kicks, and that's all I know.
that's
I
about
mean
it
that's
though.
really
Not very good at defending.
I'm not
Kind of doesn't help as a
I'm
right
not
back.
that sure about starting Kieran Trippier. So I wouldn't
No, not a
personally
chance.
I wouldn't personally put Kieran Trippier in the squad, considering you have to choose two out of many good options. So I think it is between that
Yeah,
flexibility of Kyle Walker or Reece James. I mean, I have to choose. If I have to choose one on the spot, you're gonna make me choose one on the spot.
yeah, go on then.
All right, I'll probably say Reece James, only because Reece James had a good season and he's
Good.
got that midfield flexibility. And I also don't want to see you throw a chair or a sofa because you are in the TFC
Yeah,
studio, and I don't want a wall.
just
Yeah,
destroy
I
the
don't want to come back to the
studio.
TFC
Yeah.
studio to see a hole in the wall. Okay, so I'll let you be happy for that one. So who have you
But
chosen for right back? Probably identical choice, but
obviously Reece James, but I do think there's one you have forgotten in Matty Cash. He has been
yeah,
excellent this year at Villa, and I think he's definitely got to be in there. Ryan Fredericks also quite good, probably not yet though, and he's also he's probably just a step below England level, but he is quite good anyway. And I don't think Trent is as good as some people think, but I think I will probably take him anyway. Walker is
yeah.
just a pace merchant. He's not very good at anything else. But yeah, I'll take Reece James and Trent.
Mm. I think the one thing that Carl Walker has on his side is the fact that he can play centre back and right back. But the
Yeah, that
pace is
does
another
help.
good thing. But I don't think you'd start him. Certainly, I don't think you'd
If you're
start
taking him
him.
for pace, take Reece. So yeah, I don't think it's a big problem. I mean, I don't think you need to take Walker at all.
Okay, so there you go. There's our right back choices. Moving on to centre back. Obviously, I think there's
Donnies.
you've got quite a lot of options, but many would say that some of these options are you
Awful.
wouldn't try. I was going to say wouldn't trust them, but if you want to say awful, you could say awful. So I mean, we might as well take it in turns here. Jack, you can go first over your.
Alright.
Is there four centre backs you can choose, or
I mean, there's
three?
a lot of options here.
Yeah, but I think you have to
lot
narrow
of
it down to a
options.
3 or 4. I think 4 is what the norm would be.
It's 4, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not taking Maguire. Maguire's not coming. Ban him off. We're not
But
taking
what about heat
Cody.
waves? But I wanna hear
No.
everyone down in the pubs singing Heat Waves by Glass
not
Animals
interested.
going Harry Maguire, and you are taking that
No,
away
we
from
don't
the
need it.
you are taking that away from the nation.
Slaphead. He's
You
out
are
of here.
taking that
Connor
away. That
Cody.
is outrageous.
He's
That
gone.
is outrageous. You are taking away
I'm
a
just
memorable moment for the
going in
nation.
now. Clearing out Deadwood.
There you
I'll be
go.
alright without him.
Right. That is outrageous. That is, I can't believe we won't be singing Heat Waves. If Southgate goes with Jack's options, then we will not be singing Heat Waves in the pubs with the lads, which is very upsetting. But you might be able to save it with the other centre back options.
bother
So
about it.
go through your centre back options.
Right, well, I'm going to take the Aston Villa duo of Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa. I'm taking both of them. And I'm also going to take John Stones and, bit of an outside shout, but Ben Godfrey. I do think there is a shout for the Brighton centre-backs, Lewis Dunk and Ben White. They could also be in there, but I'm going to go with Ben Godfrey.
Okay, I think there'll be I maybe it's just me, but I think there'll be a lot of people that would beg to differ with your options. But I think there's a lot of people that could go two ways with them. Like, because you've got a lot of players that I mean, you didn't take the Brighton players, but people like Lewis Dunk, you could have him in there, and he could play really well. But there's also that worry that he hasn't really played at that level or that stage, that high of a stage before.
Yeah.
So he could flop under the pressure. So that's my only worry with some of the options you've taken there.
No,
But they've
John
played
Stones,
well.
he's been at the World Cup before. Mings and Konsa, they've both played for England. Has Konsa done it before?
I don't think so.
Mings definitely has, though. It's a bit of a
Yeah.
risk. But equally, I think Southgate should have taken them to these games. I think Konsa has played for him before.
Maybe once or
In terms
twice.
of Ben Godfrey, it would be his debut, but equally, I don't think he'd start anyway, so it wouldn't be a huge problem in that sense. So I
yeah,
think it's worth taking over Maguire and that.
I think okay. So I might as well get into my centre back options.
Yeah.
I have taken Maguire because I do want to be singing Heat Waves. I want to be going Harry
That's all
Maguire.
you want him for.
That's why I've put him in the squad, just purely so we can sing Heat Waves when he bangs one in against France in the final. when he wins the game, I'm sure that's what'll happen. I mean that's providing that we even get to the final, because I mean I don't have my hopes up. I really do not.
I mean, they're not great, are they? I mean, I think they will get close. I just think France and Germany are both better.
So I actually didn't. For some reason, I didn't choose 4 here. I might have been. I must have been tired or something, because I didn't choose 4. But still, I said obviously Kyle Walker. I haven't put him there, but because I have a couple of question marks around players. I think if you took Kyle Walker, obviously you'd play him. I think you'd play him centre back, because I don't think he'd start at that right back position.
All right, that's interesting. I think he works in a 3-back, but not in a 2-back. If you're playing just 2 centre backs, I don't think Walker works in there.
No, he's more traditionally played as probably a right centre back in that bank of 3.
Yeah, with Maguire and then like Connor Cody.
Yeah, I think you've Tyrone Mings. I do have Tyrone Mings there. I think that's a fair
Mings
shout.
is pretty much guaranteed for me.
I think he's pretty guaranteed. Some people would beg to differ, but I think he's played well in them games that he has played for England. Which I find with the England squad at the moment, there's a lot of players that are coming out of seemingly, well, obviously not nowhere, but someone that didn't really watch the Premier League, for instance. there's people coming in every single international break. You've got Ollie Watkins. He's obviously into the squad now. Whether you take him to the Euros is a whole
that
other
was
option,
odd.
but that there are people coming into the international squad every single international break. So I think it's
Swap a
exciting
lot, yeah.
times, I guess you could say. But I think with them new players, as I said, there is a worry that they do flop, or they don't play as well on that higher stage. But then also you see some players where they go onto that higher stage and they play so much better than you could have imagined. I mean, you look at someone like Erling Haaland, which is a totally off example, but I mean, you see him come to it's a massive step up from a team in Norway to that kind of a club like Borussia Dortmund in that kind of league, and he's played so well. So
Yeah.
obviously a bit of an
Wasn't
off
team in
example,
Norway,
but
it's in Austria, but yeah.
Oh yeah. I was thinking because he's from Norway, but he's not. He didn't. Yeah. The team was in Austria. Close. I'm not very good at this whole geography thing. I'm more of a gamer myself. But yeah. So have I only said 3 there? I've only said 3. I think there's a lot of options there. Some would mention what John Stones. You could say Eric Dyer. I think there's.
Not taking Stones. Wow. Eric Dyer, not a chance. Not a chance for taking Dyer.
I think he's got to be in the debate though, because I think a lot of people would put him in the debate.
Nah,
I think
not even close. I'd rather have Nat Phillips from Liverpool.
I don't think that would end well. That would definitely not end well.
I think Eric Dyer would end well.
It would. The thing is though, you'd have Harry Maguire. If you don't have Harry Maguire, Jack. He can't be heading. It's no. It's ropes. It's ropes. I'll take if I'm gonna speak on the spot. I'll take John Stones. Because I think Eric Dyer. I mean, you look at the season that he at Spurs has had, and just look at the season the Spurs as a team has had this season. We started off well for the first month, and then it went downhill, very quickly.
All downhill from there.
So if this was the start of the season, first couple of months of the season, we'd be saying Eric Dyer, quality centre back. But
we would not be saying that.
In the first 2 months, he played well. In the first 2 months, he actually played all right, and then from then on, he didn't play well. I still think Eric Dyer at 2 months into the season, when you would have said he's good. At this point, I think he's had a lot of opportunities.
I said he's good. Doesn't mean I'm going to take him to England.
Yeah, I know, but you look at the quality in the England squad. I don't know. I think it's a whole debate. I think it's a whole video in itself. I genuinely do think though, Eric Dyer, first couple of months of that season, quality centre back, could make it into the England squad. Eric Dyer now, I don't think he's making it into the England squad. But obviously, I think Gareth Southgate could take him. I'm not sure. I'm not saying I agree with the decision, but I could see Gareth Southgate taking him. I could very much see him. The one thing you'd say with Eric Dyer, obviously experience. That's the one thing you'd say with Eric Dyer. He has got experience playing at that top level.
Yeah, I guess.
With England, anyway. So
very limited experience.
Okay, moving on. So left back. I've got 2 pretty decisive choices, but I think you'll debate with one of them. You'll certainly debate. You might laugh at one of them actually. But I've gone with Ben Chilwell as my first option. Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, that's pretty much guaranteed.
I think that's a fair option. Let's just go with obviously left back options wise. Do you want to say one of your left backs? I'm assuming you've got Chilwell in there as well.
Yeah, I've got Chillers.
Yeah, so you've got Chilwell. Who have you gone for the other left back?
So I've actually gone for Aaron Cresswell because he gives you the option to play a 3-back. Like you were saying with Kyle Walker, if you take Cresswell, you can play a 3-back.
That is a shout.
I haven't decided on my formation yet. It'll probably just be a 4-back, but it does give you that tactical.
You know what I've seen? With a lot of people at the moment? I've seen with a lot of, because I've seen these tier lists and they go, all right, so these players, you put half the England squad in, they don't even deserve to play for England, and then these, the classic tier list YouTube thing, and people are putting Luke Shaw high up that list.
I do think Luke Shaw's had a good season, and I did have him in here until I thought of Cresswell and the fact that you can play him as a centre back as well.
Well, on the topic of Luke Shaw, that's who I've put. I didn't really think of Aaron Cresswell, to be fair. But I think Luke Shaw, he's been through a lot in the last few seasons as well,
Deserves it.
with his injuries
Definitely.
and all that. So I think it'd be, I think also with Luke Shaw, with that second centre back, unless Chilwell got injured, you'd play Chilwell over Luke Shaw, probably anyway. Depending, obviously, in some games, it's not going to be like Chilwell will play
Yeah.
every game, because there will be
I
games
mean,
where
you've
you
still
won't
got
play.
a load of games to play. Like Chilwell
Yeah.
could go on a great run where he starts getting a load of goals for Chelsea, keeping a load of clean sheets as they are at the moment. But equally, they could start falling away.
Yeah.
So you've still got a lot of games to go. Someone could pick up a big injury, so it's hard to pick these lists now. But we do have a good idea of what we want,
Yeah.
and I
And
think
that's one
Chilwell's
thing
at the moment is definitely.
That's one thing we do want to mention as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we are choosing players that are currently injured. There's a couple of players in this list where they are currently injured, but they are set to be able to return by then. And obviously, as you said, there are going to be players in here. You never know. Like one of them players could pick up an injury that won't let them go to the Euros in the last game of the season. Let's say. So it's about what we have at the moment. And what we can see into the future of what we can see of the future, that this is the best squad that we can see. We might look back in this in a couple of months and think, why do we put that person in there? Because he's now really doing really well. Or why do we put him in there? Because he's terrible. But yeah, I think, yeah, that's the main thing that we want to note down, obviously. Moving on to midfield, specifically defensive midfield. Did you kind of split it into that midfield, defensive midfield, and central attacking midfield, or have you kind of?
I think it's easier to do that than do wingers, because I think it's easier just to do your central midfielders and then your wingers and cams, because the wingers and cams, they kind of all merge into one, because you've got a lot of versatile players.
Yeah, but the one thing I would say with England, I found that a lot of the wingers can actually play striker as well. There are some out there. I mean,
yeah, I guess.
I mean, Harry Kane down the right wing. Why not?
I may not be picking any of those wingers that can also play strikers. So.
Oh no! Have you? Oh,
interesting.
No.
Oh.
You're telling me you haven't played Wayne Rooney? What? This is outrageous. Okay, so are we gonna say
Wayne Rooney?
Are we gonna say what? Defensive midfield then?
I've got 3 defensive midfielders.
Okay, yeah, I have got
that's where they
3 as well.
play.
So or 3/2. Ready up for debate there. So I mean, you can go through your 3 central defensive midfielders that you choose to play in the England squad.
I think Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice are pretty much guaranteed. I'm taking both of them as well. And I'm also going to take Jude Bellingham. This one's very debatable, very spicy pick. He's very young, and he hasn't played. Well, he's played a bit for England, more than Jesse Lingard now.
Hang on, let me just write out Wayne Rooney out of my squad. I'm very upset about this.
What?
No, I'll take it.
All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I think Bellingham's really good, so I've put him in there.
Okay. I'm gonna go through my 2/3 central defensive midfielders. I've put Declan Rice in there. I think that's quite an obvious pick. With Jordan Henderson, I think he's in a debate. I think he's once again got the experience.
He brings leadership. Definitely.
He brings leadership. Obviously, captain of Liverpool.
Need them. I don't think you need more CDMs just because you can play Trent and Reece in CDM. So if someone does pick up an injury, you do have options there with their versatility. So that's why I've only taken Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice. And then Bellingham would either play in an attacking kind of centre midfielder role in like an advanced playmaker, or he could play in cam. So
okay, so I have chosen Jordan Henderson just because of the experience, because of the leadership. I think there are other options out there.
Obviously. No experience here.
Obviously, Calvin Phillips, as you said, I think Calvin Phillips is a good option. He's emerged relatively recently, obviously since like the last World Cup, for instance, since 2018.
Since Leeds came up, really.
Yeah, since Leeds came up, he's impressed in the England squad. I'd say that as well. Or as much as I've watched of the England squad anyway. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the games I have missed. I'm not going to lie here, and that'll be my excuse if anyone calls me stupid in the comments.
Did you not watch San Marino?
Oh no. But yeah, so I've chosen Declan Rice, Jordan Henderson, and Calvin Phillips. Also, because I think it's pretty obvious that Gareth Southgate will choose Calvin Phillips.
Yeah,
From what
I mean, he's pretty much cemented in that side now.
So there you go. Defensive midfielders out of the way. Midfielders wise, I've got another 3 midfielders.
What, like central midfielders?
Central midfielders. But I think you could beg to say any of them could play Cam. So, they're kind of merging to 2 with the midfielder / Cam.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd actually say that one of them probably should be in Cam, not midfield. So, midfield-wise, I'll say one, then you can say one, and then, yeah. So, this is the one that I think, obviously, Cam. I think should be more Cam. He definitely is more Cam. I don't know why I put him midfield. Mason Mount.
Yeah, that's guaranteed for me.
Yeah, I think he's cemented once again in that place.
Future captain.
I think future captain. Maybe.
I think definitely. I mean, central midfield, one of the best places for a captain. He's always involved, and he's one of England's best players.
Another probably a misplace of the position. Some would say anyway. I have put Bellingham as well, just because. Once again, we must have had the same thought with that kind of idea of it's risky, but you probably wouldn't play in most games anyway. So, it's okay to take a couple of risks.
Yeah, it makes more sense to take him, like the experience of going to a Euros, than it is to take someone like James Milner and just to go and
or
sit
Adam
around.
Lallana, yeah. Put Adam Lallana in there.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll be buzzing. Yeah, Jude Bellingham. I think that's a fair analysis, and I think obviously Gareth Southgate giving him the chance at the moment. I think I can maybe see him getting the chance for the Euros as well. It's really depending.
It was tight though with him. I think I haven't picked James Ward-Prowse, and I think he does deserve a spot, but there just isn't enough spaces. Another person who I haven't put in is James Madison, which could be a big debate.
Oh no, yeah. Oh no. I've forgotten James Madison. How have I done that, Jack? Okay. All right. So you were saying about Ward-Prowse. I've actually put Ward-Prowse in there. But that was also in my head thinking I totally forgot about James Madison. But I think Ward-Prowse, good midfielder. He obviously scored his England goal a couple of days ago against Albania.
Against San Marino.
Yep. Okay. So, James Ward-Prowse. I think it's a good choice. So, I mean, I think there'll be a lot of people that will agree. Also, his free kicks are sensational.
I agree, he's class, but I think there's also a lot of other good England players. It's really tough now.
It is tough.
And you look at old tournaments like 2016. It's like, we're lining up with James Milner, Adam Lallana, and Jesse Lingard, who at that point was awful. Jack Livermore was in with a shout. That kind of just shows how good the English talent is coming through now. And how lucky we are to experience such good players.
The one thing I would say with this England squad is a lot of them are extremely young, like in their very early 20s, some of them. So,
Bellingham's like 17. So.
Yes, you've got like Jude Bellingham, as you said, 17. You've got a lot of players who are very young and still haven't reached anything near their full potential. And let's hope they don't all flop like Dele Alli. Otherwise, that will be very sad. Because at one point, Dele Alli looked like a great player. And
shots at your own player.
I don't think anyone will disagree. He has majorly fallen off with Dele Alli. He looked like I'd say his peak was when he was nowhere near his peak. Theoretically, obviously, you never know. He might go and pull off an amazing comeback, go to PSG, and become the next, I don't know, Mbappe, but at Cam. But you never know. But at the moment, I would say that the last couple of years for Dele Alli has been extremely detrimental to his performances and just the general.
It's been pretty crap, if you ask me.
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone will disagree. I think certainly this season as well, he hasn't had the opportunity to play. And when he has played, I mean, he's pulled off an overhead kick. But except from that, I find his passing isn't really... He's not really with it with the passing.
Though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's against Wolfsberger. So, I mean...
God.
I mean, as much as it was a great goal, it was a good goal. But you know, I
mean,
think.
no one was marking him, so that's how he had the space to pull that off.
But there you go. I think. I mean, on the topic Dele Alli, I'm assuming you've not picked him.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. I'm taking no. I'm not taking
Yeah,
Ali.
we're putting him. We're putting him in goal. We forgot
Just
to
slagging him
say
off,
actually.
going, yeah.
So yeah, there's the midfielders out of the way. Let's move on to the final few positions. Central attacking midfield. This is where James Madison would have been. If
Okay, oh, I think we do. I think we could do cams and wingers in the same thing, just because they are so similar.
okay, that's kind of messed up the way that I've written it down, but we can do that. Yeah. Um,
Brilliant.
so
If it's messed up the way you've written it down, then I definitely want to do it.
I've got it as cam and then just forwards alone. So
Well, I did midfielders, so I've got less 9 midfielders, and I'm to go right. Which of these am I going to play in DM and which in centre
okay.
mid?
All right, so we'll do central attacking midfielders and cams. Oh, it's central attacking midfielders and wingers. Sorry.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, all right.
You're brilliant with words.
Cam, let's go. Who have you gone with
Right.
them positions?
So this is very debatable, but I have taken Jesse Lingard over Ward-Prowse and Madison, which, you know, if you'd asked me in December, I'd have said definitely not. Jesse Lingard's going nowhere near that England squad. But he looks a different player at West Ham, and if he keeps that up, and Madison is, you know, hampered by injury at the moment, Ward-Prowse, he's doing okay, but equally, I think Lingard is much more on form at the moment. So I'm taking Lingard. I'm going to take Jack Grealish. He's been brilliant when he's fit for Villa this season. Yep. Harvey Barnes also struggled with injuries, but I'm still going to take him. Phil Foden as well. I'm going to say Foden, I think. Yeah, he's very good. Very young.
Yeah.
Done well. I think this is his first year that he's actually played a lot of games. And then one more, I'm going to take Jadon Sancho as well. Not at the greatest.
So you're not taking Raheem Sterling.
I'm not taking Sterling. I'm not taking Rashford. I'm not taking Ward-Prowse. I'm not taking Madison. It's like all 4 of them, you'd think would be pretty guaranteed.
That'll be up for debate in the comment section down below. So please, if you think Jack is very stupid with these decisions, please vent your anger in the comment section down below. Don't make him cry. You know, just don't cross the line. You know. No, but yeah, I think that'll be a big debate. I mean, the fact you haven't taken Raheem Sterling, you haven't taken Rashford. So for central attacking midfield, I've got, because as I said, I've written it down differently. I've gone with Jack Grealish, Phil Foden. I think they're pretty solid.
Grealish more of a winger, but yeah.
I think he's a bit of both. So obviously Phil Foden.
Foden plays on the right.
Yeah, Phil Foden is as you said, had a good season, and I think he could do quite well in that Euros. Obviously, depending. I think it's the same with every single one of these players. It could go very much 2 ways. They could play really well or really bad. And if they all play really bad, it's not coming home. It's not coming home. I mean, they have to play.
Anyway, but
I don't think unless. Listen. You never know.
Especially
you can't
with
stop
Southgate
believing.
in charge. If they appoint me, it's coming home. Southgate, nah.
I'm sure. Who could we have? Glenn Murray. I'm sure he would be up for managing managing England. He's not even a manager. He's not even. I'm sure he would be. First managerial job. I'm sure he'd do great. Okay. Yeah. So for wingers, I've kind of gone with very obvious choices. I've gone with Rashford. I think. The one thing I would say, I've also chosen Sterling, and the one thing with Sterling is he's very how could I say it? He's very inconsistent, to say the least. I think with his performances, he can play very good. He can play very, very bad. So I think with Sterling, you'd like to think that he'd be at the top of his form because he would be trying his hardest like everyone else in this squad to make it come home. Because they really do have to work hard to make it come home. So hopefully, listen, if Sterling, which I'm 99.9% sure, 100% sure Sterling will be in that England squad.
Yeah, I think Sterling and Rashford will both be in there. I haven't taken.
Yeah, so Sancho, I've also chosen Sancho in there. I think he's another pretty. I think that's a pretty obvious choice. But then again, I thought Sterling and Rashford were obvious choices. So.
Yeah, I'm saying though, you know.
And then I've got the choice. Oh wait, no, they're strikers. So we're not going to get into them quite yet. But they could play wing. They could play wing. You know, I've got a good choice between 4 different players that I'm sure will be great. So we'll get into them very shortly. But let's move on to striker, which I've actually only got the one person, then 4 people to choose from.
Right, brilliant.
Are
they actually strikers this time, or are they KSI?
Oh yeah. They are strikers. They are strikers.
Makes a change.
Yep. If you count Vic Star as a striker, we're playing him 2 different positions at the same time. No, okay, yeah. Let's move on. Striker. Who are you choosing for striker? Jamie Vardy, except from he's retired.
He's retired, yeah. I'm not taking Harry Kane.
Ayo.
So that's a very big box.
Good. Yep. All right. So thanks for watching this episode of TFC. It's been a great one, guys. until Jack. Not bringing Kane is like saying I don't want to win this cup. It's just like I think it's a pretty obvious one that you've got to bring. You've got to bring the captain of England. You've got to bring Harry Kane.
I'd give Mason Mount captain. You know, we're getting rid of all the old players, we're bringing in all the young ones. That's why I'm going to replace him with Danny Ings. Yeah. Bringing in the young players. Let's get Danny Ings in there.
Oh yeah, but a good young prodigy. He's really good, Danny Ings. He's only just really started his career at the age of what, 52?
I think it could be Ings or Kane, but Ings, he's my man. Come on, Danny. I could just see your face.
I think we need to rebrand. Jack. I don't think we know enough about football. I think we need to rebrand to the hockey chat. So join us next episode for the hockey chat. Because clearly we don't know enough about England or football in general. But yeah, on that note, I've obviously put Harry Kane. I think it's a pretty obvious thing.
Still got another striker. Disgraceful.
So Harry Kane, and then this is the choice that I have to make, Jack. It's a very tough one. We've got Glenn Murray, Wayne Rooney, Jamie Vardy, or Peter Crouch. All very young prodigies. Some would say like they're too young really to be playing in these competitions. Glenn Murray, Wayne Rooney, Jamie Vardy, or Peter Crouch. Which one would you choose, Jack?
I mean, I'm taking Tammy Abraham, but in your weird world where you can take anyone, definitely Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy. He'll do the mannequin challenge and have a party. I see. I was thinking. I'm thinking Wayne Rooney. I think he's very young.
Bring him back.
Yeah. No, but on a serious note, I mean, I'm just not going to select that 23rd player. I'm just not going to select the 23rd player, and it's up to you guys.
Leave it to the comments.
Yeah, leave it to the comment section down below, or would you prefer to take Glenn Murray, Wayne Rooney, Jamie Vardy, or Peter Crouch? Just quick disclaimer, we are aware that, all of them are retired. Well, then again, Glenn Murray, he might not even be retired. Because we never know, because he's never played.
Troy Deeney.
Troy Deeney. Oh, well, let's add him there. Right, Troy Deeney. There you go. So Troy Deeney's in the mix. Everyone comment down below. Who would you like to start in that England squad or get in that England squad? But yeah, on that note, I think that's everything we need to go through. That is the England squad. Can't wait to see Troy Deeney and Wayne Rooney up front for England. It's gonna be it's gonna come home this year, boys, and I know it.
Great.
I know it.
I've got no Kane. You've got Deeney and Crouch and Rooney.
We really do need to rebrand the channel. It's the hockey chat next time, Jack. It's the hockey chat. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching to the end. If you did enjoy, as I said at the start, please do leave a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot and really help out the channel. But yeah, the final word from Jack is
Troy Deeney as poggers.
And there you go. Thank you guys for watching today's episode of TFC, and we will see you next episode for the hockey chat. Here we go.